This is an ooh-wee production.
Welcome to the Real Talk Podcast, where the goal is to better our understanding through conversation. Communicating our feelings, our thoughts, or our opinions could be some of the easiest, or it could be some of the hardest things to do. But by communicating, we begin to form new perspectives. So throughout the various topics and opinions we discuss on our podcast, we hope that we can add value, understanding, and maybe a few laughs to your day. We appreciate you guys listening and enjoy the show. Welcome to the Real Talk Podcast, man. I am your host, Bruce, with my man, E. What's going on, bro?
How you doing, brother?
Good
day to be alive, man.
Another week, bro. Let's go. Ecclesiastics. That's what it was, man.
Mm-hmm.
He said, whatever you do, do it well. For when you go to the grave, there will be no work or planning or knowledge or wisdom. Ecclesiastes 9-10.
Man,
and I had read it in the book.
Ecclesiastes, man.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
It's crazy, dog.
Between that and Psalms, bro. Like, all that, man. That's my joint day, man.
Yeah.
I get full off that.
When you said that, though, you said living, man, just enjoying life. That's what it made me think of. Because it said, like, yo, whatever your hands touch, man, do it with all your might. Because once you go to the grave, man, that's it. No wisdom, no knowledge, nothing.
Like we talked about before, man, you can't take that with you.
Bruh.
It's like, well, why not just, you know what I'm saying?
Come
leave
on,
it off.
man.
It's no different than, sports. Like you tell the players, man, if they on a basketball court or on a football field or wherever, you tell them, like, leave it all out here. Leave it all on the court, leave it all on the field, because at the end of the day, if you fail to deliver, so to speak, and all you simply delivering is your all, you know what I'm saying? You affecting the game how you can affect the game in a positive sense. You should. But if you don't, all you left with is regrets. You like, man, I wish, or, those shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or if, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They say if was a fifth, we all to be drunk. That's what they say.
That's funny, though. We'll be lit all the time.
Exactly.
We'll be lit every day.
The first one is, man, like the first one that's been hitting me lately, and I don't know, I'm speaking on myself, but I spoke to my cousin, a brother that we had on the podcast before as well, Brother Johnson. Yeah, he said he's in the midst of going through one as well, and it's like a creative wave. I call it a wave, but it's like, how do we free ourselves from the weight? You know what I'm saying? How are we able as men to make ourselves lighter? Like these are the questions, you take and you ask yourself.
Right.
And sometimes you feel like you just asking yourself that question is an unfair question to even ask, because we expect so much is expected of the man. The figure of a man is easily like, and I'm not doing this because I am a man and I'm trying to be one-sided on the situation, but it's easy to bash a man.
Yeah.
Just easy. Like right now, I can think of 1,000 reasons why you can bash a brother.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying,
bro.
And it's like, it's crazy how easy your mind can sit up there and say it's easy to bash your brother, boy. And then when it comes over and you flip over and you like, okay, is it easy to bash a woman though? Just the thought of what I just said, it gets cringy. I don't even want to, you know what I'm saying? Even if one of them wrong, number one, it becomes uncensored, which you might hear over here to the man. But over here, nah, man, like, sis got to tighten up. You know what I'm saying? But over here, oh man, please, get him the business. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, leave a boot off in him. You know,
slapping everything.
Exactly. Got a ball here, you know, come across that. That's a dome shot, you know. But how do we make ourselves lighter?
It's a great question.
Still being productive whilst we find a way to make ourselves lighter.
Nah, that's a great question.
How do we do that? For the first time in a long time, I feel like a part of myself, I'm able to identify a part of myself again that's been missing, absent for a long time.
Right.
And it's been a dire part of myself. It's been a critical part of myself. It's been an integral part of myself. I'm even willing to say that it's been a main ingredient to my recipe that's been missing.
Right. How'd you come about
identifying it?
Yeah, like rekindling that.
And see, that's the thing. I can't take no credit for that, man, because really and truly, I had been trying for the longest, but the will, the desire, all of that stuff, it was going within me. Mm-hmm. But like now, just like a long year. You think about a long year. They say what? How many days in a year? 365, right?
Right.
So that's, when you look at it from that perspective and you're on January 1 and you got 364 days remaining. That's a long time to get to the, to the finish line. But along the way, you have things set up to help split the year. Think about this. When you meet the month of June, June is what?
Help me out.
June is what?
Juneteenth.
No, not just Juneteenth. June is the 6th month, correct?
Yeah.
So that's half
like
of
halfway.
the year.
Yeah, halfway.
That's you at the halfway point. Some people look at that window like January to June, but that's still a long time. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we're in this instant society. We want things instant. We want it now. Yeah. We want it instant. We want it now. Mm-hmm. People be up there, man, with signs saying that same thing. That's the society that we're in. So you go through winter, then you go through spring. So it becomes changes. You can see sometimes there's radical changes you can see in the weather within certain seasons, and that helps you to, break the year down even more.
Right.
You look at it, and sometimes sometimes for certain people that sparks creativity within itself. Some people just the change in the season, the weather. Some people don't do well in the winter. They just, I don't know, lazy. They get struck by that lazy bone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you're right. Some people go into hibernation mode. Some people just, I don't know. It seems like it may be the most gloomiest time of the year for them. So, that's what they do. Then all of a sudden spring hit, here come they coming out party. All you hear, I'm coming up, whatever.
You crazy, bro.
But yeah, it's just like, man, with each season, it can rekindle certain people's ability to connect with what it is that they have going on. And sometimes with, seasonal changes, you are able to reinvigorate yourself.
Right.
Through, the current events that's happening around you, through the shift in the climate. Some people, depending on the climate, man, some people might find themselves becoming a motivational speaker to certain issues in the world, or certain people that's dealing with certain things in the world. Some people might become, some people may find themselves just, figuring out, hey, over here, it's a mean dry spell going on over here, man. It's, it's a need for, figuring out a way that I can take and watering these crops over here, or just, these people, man, they look like they dying out, they drying out. They just need to be watered. They need, they just, what they need. Yeah. So here it is, somebody find their purpose over here. But it's just like, what I'm saying is, the seasons do bring about changes that also help you to navigate through a long year, and helps you to, condense the year to a degree where it doesn't become overwhelming, but now you're able to, find your wings and fly within that season.
Nah, I feel you on
and
that.
For me, what I'm feeling, man, it's just, I feel a sense of just being renewed. I feel like for so long, I feel like I was in a state of drying up. I feel like honestly, at times I just felt like I was existing. And that's miserable, a miserable feeling, to feel like you just existing, but you don't even know why you existing no more.
Right.
You're just here. But the things that you're doing while you just so-called existing, it's not really, you're not doing yourself no favors or nobody else around you.
I feel you on that, man.
Then all of a sudden it comes the next part to existing. You just, what's that? Putting on the mask. Mm-hmm. Bro, how you doing? I'm good.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it so easy to say you good? Because to be honest with you, it's easy. It becomes something that you just used to saying or hearing somebody else say. So you just use what it is that you know they want to hear anyways.
Right.
Because you know you can't say, I'm not doing good, because then comes the questions. And sometimes you're not even ready to answer the question.
Yeah, you ain't even ready to expound on it.
Exactly, because you don't even know really how to answer the question. You're still battling with it. You know. But man, I'm so lately, man, I've gotten back to, you know, writing, and it's just like this is how I know this is how I know that a breakthrough is occurring with me, because just telling you that it's crazy. It's almost like a part of me was sitting at the end of the table, and when I stated that I'm back to writing again, a smirk or a smile came across my face, which means that the passion is back. You know, I'm invigorated by the thought of writing again.
Right.
Before,
it was like a task.
Yeah. It's like, man, that's that weight again. It's like, man, it's like a brother sinking. You know what I'm saying? Real, bro. Man, why I got to write? You know, it's like became an assignment, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know? Exactly.
What was crazy, now the crazy part about that, it's still my assignment because I was tasked with this. But I'm purposed for this. So I'm built for this.
I feel you on that.
With all of that being said, if I'm built for this, I'm tasked for this, I'm purposed for this, I'm wired for this, I can drive this. So that's my mobile that I'm willing to drive. I'm ready to drive. I want to drive. You see what I'm saying? That becomes a part of me.
That's crazy. Nah, bro. You know, at the whole time you was talking, I was thinking about like, lately I've been listening to this guy named Jim Rohn, and he was saying,
I know what you talking about.
Jim Rohn. Yeah. He said, a dude fire too, man. Anybody out there listening, Jim Rohn, check him out. But he was saying life and business is like the seasons, because you got, you know, up times, you got down times, right? And he was like, there's no way to change that. Like winter is always going to come after fall. Spring is always going to come after winter. Summer is always going to come after spring.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It always happens.
Always. Like never change.
That's the things that it is crazy, because you know they coming too.
Yeah.
And you know they're not going to change. But why they still come around on us and they hit us like we didn't knew it was coming?
Right.
I don't know about nobody else, that y'all don't take no offense to what I just said. I'm speaking to myself.
Yeah, man.
Bro, let me tell you the part of the year that I do not like. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it a buck with you here on this, bro. I do not like when we, let's see, what it's called, when we spring forward. I hate it. That
what is that? Oh, it's about the time?
Yeah, man, go back? I hate it. That means we lose an hour of sleep.
Yeah.
And we got so much day. But really, when you think about it, people, we should enjoy that, because it's stating that it's more to do during the day now. Yeah. So that means you should be more productive during the day. But me, all I'm thinking about is my sleep that I'm giving up. So you mean to tell me I'm giving up a whole hour?
Right.
And it's like, I'm so psychological that I think about that thing. Here it is, bro. We well past that now. We should be,
acclimated.
We should be. Right. We should be very seasoned in this now. I'm still thinking about the hour that I left. Like for real. I'm wired like this, bro. I'm like, yo, this I heard somebody say a couple years ago, if not last year, they said, yeah, it's a possibility that, the whole,
Oh yeah, I heard that. It's gonna stay like fall,
that. No.
Yeah.
No.
Bro, are you ready to write a letter, petition?
Bro, I'm ready to start it all. Like, bro, like a revolution by like, bro, like my thing, I'm big on this here. Okay. Although I do not like the fact that somebody's taking an hour of sleep from me, I can deal with it. I'm just like, again, I'm going back to sports. I'm just like, any sport. If it's a referee out there and if you're gonna call something on me, that's cool. Just call it both ways. Yeah. So yeah, if you're gonna take away the hour of sleep, that's cool. As long as I can get that back, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? That's fair, right?
Hey,
is it fair?
I mean, I feel
no. It's not. No, you. I see where you at with this. You on the other party. You on the other side.
Yeah, I enjoy it, man. I enjoy having a long day.
It, but in moderation.
Ah, man.
Right?
I don't know. But you're right though.
You tell me I don't know, but you're right though. Which one is it?
See, now it goes back to what he was saying. Like everything changes. So once you get the hour taken away, it's gonna come back eventually. You know what I'm saying? It should, right? I mean, so it's like,
but see, even the way God programmed it, and it's crazy because I don't know. It's almost like I've been obsessing about this thing for over a year. Almost to man, I'm going to tell you, man, I pay attention to the things that I notice I've never paid attention to before. Like as I get older, I don't know if it's like time slowing down for me or if it's that God is really opening my eyes and making me pay attention to details that I never paid attention to before. So last year when we was getting ready, when we were coming up on, let's just say I'm just throwing something out there. So y'all don't quote me on this. Let's just say, When does time?
Sometime I think in August or like.
No, I'm saying when does it? When do we spring forward? That's what like.
It's probably I think January sometime, February.
Nah, it's a little further. No, it's further back than that. Probably maybe about like March, April. Yeah, look at it. Look it up for me if you don't mind. I think it's March. It may be a little after Easter or before Easter.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so probably May, April, I want to say. But while you looking that up, I continue on. So what I noticed, what I've been noticing about myself is whilst the times itself may not.
Yeah, you was right. My bad. I cut you off. Mm-hmm. March to November. That's what it says on here. Okay,
so March to November. So that now that I'm looking at that, now that you put it out there like that, that's a long time.
Yeah.
See, now, you got me wondering. See, I'm all about
ends in November.
Yeah, I know that. It should be like close to the mid part, the beginning of the mid
really
part.
Like the whole spring and summer. You know what
exactly.
So it's like that's a spring, summer.
Now that I think about it, you get more time, more of this than you do of the other.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's like, and then you're gonna take that little bit away from you though. You like, come on,
I wanted to stay
y'all
like
ready?
that though, man.
Like what?
Like with the longer days. I enjoy that, man. Like
hold on, man. Hey, listen.
What's
speak
up?
for yourself right now. Because see, I said I'm strongly disagreeing against that.
What would be the all right? So like, why do you like the what is that called? Daylight savings time. What's the so why do you like the
you're falling
part?
back? You talking about fall back? Number one, again, you got longer time to rest. I want you to take. I've said this before, but I'm serious, man. When you take it to consideration, in the fall and in the winter, statistics can agree with me on this. Mm-hmm. In the fall and in the winter, I know for a fact. I'm gonna speak on here in this city. The fall and in the winter, you get less domestic violence. You get less, aggravated assault, all that stuff. Why? We talked about this before. Because in the fall and in the winter, it gets a little more cooler.
Right.
The air gets cooler. And what do we say when things are cooler? It's chill. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You get a chill in the air. So people chill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now all of a sudden, when it's a little too cold outside, people in their door, inside the house. People not getting arrested for being on the corner selling drugs, all that, because now it's too cold. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? What happens the more time you spend time around family and your loved ones, certain loved ones, then all of a sudden, guess what? Babies being made. Right, you're repopulating. Right. And in the summertime, you aggravated. It's too hot. You don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? People rubbing up. Hey, look, give me a minute. Like, you know what I'm saying? Please get up out my face for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, but on top of that, people outside because it's hot. You know what I'm saying? When they outside, they ain't really got on much clothing, but still, it's a lot of issues that happen when it's hot outside. It's like, man, people go in Crete. See what statistics state this, it does. So what I'm saying is, one of the things is you get longer sleep portions in the fall and in the winter. Guess what? That's a benefit.
Right.
That's a benefit. Not people getting rest. Another reason why in the summertime people going fool out there. You know what I'm saying? It's longer days. It's longer days, but they ain't sleeping.
Wow, bro. Wow.
You laughing, but hey, behind every joke, there's some truth.
Yeah, it might be some truth to that.
Yeah.
Nah, I enjoy it, man, because like,
and even I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead,
even
man.
in the nighttime,
what's that?
When the sun go down, it's still humid outside.
Yeah, it is though.
That's miserable at times.
It's like, man,
you can't hardly breathe. 80s,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking about it, man. Good for you. Good for you. But guess what,
man? I ain't cold. I'm
Bruh,
like, I'm
look here.
chilling.
Man, my thing is,
Around
bro,
4, 5 o'clock, you good.
Bruh.
You hit the beach around 4 o'clock. The sun is like just like midway. You good, man. It ain't as hot. Now between I would say
Man.
10 and 3, 10, 3:30,
Bruh, you
it's
can
blazing.
cook an egg on the sidewalk, bro.
blazing.
You can
But
scramble
you
an
still
egg on the
got
sidewalk.
from 4 to 9.
And it's the same, bro.
Let's
This,
go.
bro, this is still the same asphalt, bro, that you can scramble an egg on. This the same asphalt that now majority of people going to the beach during this time, and these babies trying to walk around. Sometimes they barefoot on this hot asphalt. It's like, bro, I'm good.
So you good with the winter? You prefer the winter more? Or
Now,
fall? I would say fall.
Fall, winter, I love them both.
Right.
I love them both. Winter, I love winter. Fall, I'm a fall baby. But again, see, so I'm not being biased to just fall.
Right.
I like the winter too. I like, bro, honestly, I like change. I'm not saying I would love for fall and winter to be year round. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, though, is give me what comes with fall and winter, which is
what?
extended nights. You know what I'm saying? Good rest.
Right.
That's
I mean,
the best.
that's a good campaign though. You know what I'm saying? More
It
sleep.
is a campaign. Let it
Yeah.
speak for itself.
You know what I mean?
And then if you don't believe me, believe God. That's all I'm gonna say. Because
Yeah, I was
God,
about to say, go
this
back
is
to
what
that.
I'm going right back to what I was about to say before about like God showing me details more and more as I get older. So what I noticed is before, as we were getting close to March and April, when we were getting ready to spring forward, right? I started noticing like with every week from, I'll say it started probably about in February.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about in February it started. I'm looking like the kids might have something to do and I have to be there. And let's just say that I'm on the field and I don't know, like out of the blue, one day might strike and hit me. And I'm like, hey, man, it seemed like it's starting to get a little darker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Each and every day I started noticing, I'm like, bro, like I feel like I'm in the midst of an atmospheric change. Like I've never been able to say, sometimes things normally happen. And by the time they happen, when we realize that it's happening, it's already been happening. But just, you know what I'm saying? We get stuck in this, I don't know what it is. It's like, we just sleepwalk through it. But it's like things have been changing with me. And it's like, I can feel it as it's going on. I'm like, yo, things changing. I'm like, and I'll sit there and think to myself, is everybody else seeing what I'm seeing? Are they living what I'm living right now? They actually know. And like they're cognizant and cautious of the fact that right now, like yesterday, this time last week, it was, it was still like bright sunny. Like right now, like it's dim, the sky is dimming. Mm-hmm. It's like I be wondering these things. And then I didn't even think about it because that goes to show you how much of, I don't really care to set my eyes on, okay, we getting ready to spring forward soon. Right. So let me see what the date is. I don't look forward to it like that. So I don't even look into it. But the seed was already planted then. I'm like, man, I know soon, man, it must be coming soon. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, I didn't care to look at it. But next thing I know, a week happened. And then all of a sudden I heard somebody say, oh yeah, make sure now.
You said your clothes back.
Forward. Yeah. So, oh Lord. but up until
they
that
do be
time,
like that though. Yeah.
But I can see the changes happening. So it's like God already providing you with the itinerary of what's to come. And, or how you're going to go about doing things because of how he's setting the sky, how he's setting the atmosphere for you. And then the same about, it's no different when it gets close to my birthday, which is, October, the latter portion of October. I can always tell, like in the month of October, things start to change, the atmosphere change. I can start seeing where now all of a sudden it's getting darker quick. I'm like, yo, cool, things changing. Mm-hmm. So when I see this, I'm like, yo, I'm locked in pretty soon, boy. But see, I don't have to pay attention to that. I know that it's going to happen because it's always been like that since I've been little. I already know around my birthday time, I've been at the fair before the weekend of my birthday. And then all of a sudden, that was it when it happened. Mm-hmm. That's all right, tonight. Because I remember being at the fair one time and I thought I was going to use that to my advantage. You need to be home by this time. But then all of a sudden, if it's, you get an hour. Exactly. So I'm like, okay, so I might be a lot. See, you know what, man? I might have been a politician. No, not smart. Because when they say something, they mean that. No, look, you know what I meant.
Right.
It's funny. Like as a parent, you like,
wait a minute. Trying to play around.
Yeah, you like, but see, yeah, you gonna exploit them loopholes and let one exist. We gonna sit up there. We gonna test this theory.
Right.
But yeah, we then went out on a long tangent, man. But it's just like as we're talking about this per se, just being able to see the atmospheric changes and understanding how they either make you feel invigorated or make you feel a little more chill. That's what I say, chill and more laid back. Like right now, the season that I'm in my, in the state of my life, is like, man, I feel it, man. Like I just feel like, how, I guess, Midas would have felt when he first felt that he had the golden touch. Like he touched something and then maybe it was a pen, he went to go and sign something with it. And then all of a sudden the whole pen turned, go, boy, I got that touch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that initial introduction to, yo, it's back. Like I got that fire. I got the desire. I got that, you got that eager to make something happen. Now the interesting thing becomes, okay, how can I catch lightning in a bottle? How can I store it?
Right.
How can I maintain this? That's something totally different, because what I found in my life, which coming out of the past season, it's not as easy as a light switch. You go to hit this switch and all right, now today we will create. And you go into that room and then you create. I mean, granted, you might have certain people like that, but I'm not one of those people, because I feel like I'm forcing it. If I go in there, or today I'm going to create, and then my body said, today we doing nothing.
Right. That's usually how it works.
Yeah. So it's like, but if your body tries to respond with, today we doing nothing, let's flip it. Nothing still has to be something.
Right.
We can't live a day in our life without doing absolutely nothing. Like seriously, you can't. Even if you're on vacation, you have to do something in a day. Whether that be get up to use the bathroom, you have to do something. If you sitting down on your behind and you do absolutely nothing in a day, see what nothing gets you at.
You was talking about the changing in times and things like that. And what's easy to do is also easy not to do, right? So I think like with the creative tip, how you said that I'm just gonna go in here and create. And it's easy to like say that, but it's also easy to be like, well, it don't matter, man. It's just one day. And I'll get back to it tomorrow. And it's like, that's easy to do. And then it's also easy not to do. Meaning like,
I'm glad you went.
You see
back
what I'm
to
saying?
That. I'm glad
you see what I'm saying, because it's like,
I did want to expand upon that a little bit. So when I said that you can't do nothing in a day, what I mean by that, say let's go back to a project or whatever, and artistically you peaking, so you have this strong desire to really handle this project. You're doing well regarding this project because you got this artistic spark. But let's just say one day you say, or for whatever reason, you just don't have a spark. You're like, you know what? One day it ain't gonna hurt me. What I've learned to this point, I don't do well trying to force myself to continue on with that project, because that's when I can contaminate that project.
Right. By
trying to force it. I come from, this is just my thought process. You force it, that's rape. And the reason why I know you probably like, hey, that's kind of
yeah, I was whoa.
But I'm gonna tell you my reasoning behind that. Because I can say it without a smile.
My bad,
and
bro.
I mean this.
Yeah.
But
right.
I'm gonna tell the world why I view things that way. Because number one, if I view it that way, then to be honest with you, I don't have to worry about the repercussions of not thinking about it in that manner. And when I say that manner, I'm talking about everything. Like, God forbid, you know, I have sons.
Right.
So the same, you know, I have to teach them. If you force it, that's rape.
Right.
Because the moment that you take and you, no, it's gonna work. It's going. I'm gonna make it. Hey, just hold still. Nah, and somebody, no. Just let it be. What happens a lot of times we're working on a project and all of a sudden, let's just say you gotta, you know, you're trying to screw something, and you see that it's not turning, but you keep. No, I'm gonna make it turn. What'd happen? You script
break it. Yeah.
You script it or you break it, right? And what happens? That came from what? Force. You force it, that's rape.
Right.
The results are terrible when you constantly trying to apply pressure with certain things that may not need pressure applied.
Right.
So that's why I think along the lines of like, for example, even like from a standpoint of just being creative. With this project, I know this project needs to be done. Yeah, it does need to be done. Even if it has a deadline, yeah, it still needs to be done. But if I'm just not able to give toward this project, I'm not going to force myself to keep trying to, no. But maybe I need to take a step back. And maybe sometimes you just got to get away from that particular environment or element. And sometimes you need to just take a step outside of your own house. Taking the fresh air, see life for what it is and what's happening outside of your door sometimes. Sometimes that could be the thing that can inspire that, or sometimes that could be something that for that window in time, you need to focus on something different on today. And maybe that could be something that jumpstarts something else. So what I'm saying is you still not being you still being productive.
Right.
And that's the thing about it. A body in motion stays in motion. So if you look at your mental capacity as a body, you still got it in motion. It's still, it's still doing what it's supposed to be doing. And who knows? This project, see, a lot of people think, okay, I shouldn't even be starting 2 projects at one time. All right, granted, that's your argument. But where I found that, okay, if you already have the body of this project presented and ready, and all you doing is just you applying the meat and the potatoes to this here. Over here, this is a clean slate, so to speak. For all you know, like when you just don't have it to give to this project over here for right now, and God takes you in a different direction, you start over here with this. For all you know, these two can wind up being connected somehow. And that could actually be its own universe. But we'll never know it if you disregard this over here and the possibility of this by just not even deciding to walk outside of your door, so to speak. That's all I'm saying.
I think I've been in the same boat as far as the podcast goes. Like you mentioned writing, I think the podcast has been mine that I've been kind of like struggling with creativity wise. And it's more or less like putting in a little time with it. I think, setting a goal for myself for like 30 minutes a day. You know what I'm saying? Working on the things like that that I think will help push it along more or less than trying to force an hour or two or sit down and do a whole day just dedicated to it. I think little spurts throughout the week will help more for me than just sit down and dedicate a whole, block of time.
I got a question for you now.
What's up?
So with the podcast, right? In a perfect world, how much time would you say that mentally you would like to be able to give toward the podcast?
At least in a perfect world, full time. Like I like to do it full time, meaning like I would like it to be, what supports me. Okay. You know what I mean? What supports the whole project.
So I'm just talking about from a day, like just talking about
like for a day?
Yeah.
I'll probably say like 2 hours, hour to 2 hours.
Okay.
I think that'd be dope. To just have that time to dedicate to
that window,
everything.
that particular window. See, I think the mistake a lot of us make, we'll say something like that, and I'm going to call it how it is for a lot of us. A lot of us is say, man, if I had a day where I could just do what I need to do with this podcast, bruh, everything would be on point. I'd be ahead in it. But then when we really think about that, if you were given a day with the podcast, would you spend the whole day on the podcast anyway?
Yeah. That's why I broke it back down to like 2 hours, because when you think about it, it's like there's no way I'll be able to dedicate the whole entire day to
That's
it.
what I'm
So
saying.
every day, 7 days a week, or 5 days, 6 days a week. So it's like, what's more realistic? You know what I'm saying? Okay, 30-minute increments, and then I could build from there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's what is based off of like being realistic, because a lot of times, too, you know, like me, like I study other podcasts and I look at other podcasts, and it's like, man, you know, I see them working on it, doing this, and I see them doing this, and it's like, okay, that works for them. What works for you? You know what I mean? And I think that's where a lot of times we get it mixed up.
You know, I found myself, man, early on, I used to do that same exact thing with like with writing. I like to take and read other people books and see how they went about doing whatever they did. And then next thing you know, I had to be careful, because with that, you start emulating their style. You start trying to become that
copy.
person.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, you can never be them, because it was never meant for you to be them.
Right.
And, you know, it's as big as this. I'm gonna call it. If you can envision with me, I'm gonna call this a roadway. As large as this roadway is, you have your own lane.
Got your own lane.
And it's like, the thing about it, man. The thing about when you driving too, you can start off in your own lane, but when the more you go at your pace, you'll find that your pace, it changes from time to time.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, the person that's in front of you, they messing up your pace. So then you're able to go over into another lane for a moment. So all that is for a minute, you go over into the other lane, and then you bounce it back over. And it's like, okay, I just took a little something from over. Oh, that's dope. Hey, and let me just try to throw a little bit of this into my season to see what I get. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never thought about using that flavor before.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you like, oh, what's that? Well, that tastes kind of strange. It tastes kind of desiring, though. Sarcasm.
Right.
Maybe I can do something with sarcasm. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, whatever, it's like, you pick up on certain things that really, like, you know, they add to your style. They add to your personality. Matter of fact, they magnify your personality sometimes. You're like, yo, I truly am. At times I could be sarcastic.
Yeah.
Why haven't I been using this more?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, this
That's
is
true,
why
though.
I'm not even being able to touch my own audience, because they see through me. I'm like, I present myself like glass, but still and yet I'm not utilizing what's truly within me.
Nah, that's true,
So,
man.
yeah.
I think that resonates, because it's. I think that's a big thing too. It's like getting locked in on one thing, and then it's like you pigeonhole yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's true though. E, I think. So how do you do that? Like, with you being a creative writer, right? You gotta be able to tap into all parts of yourself. How do you expand all range? If that makes sense, or different ranges within yourself.
I'm gonna tell you the best way I can answer that is by telling you a little bit about what I'm working on without going too much in depth into what it is that I'm actually getting ready to give birth to, because it's not finished yet. But this piece that I'm working on, it's been the most challenging thing that I've done up to this point, because it's challenging me. It's challenging me. Like, for example, this piece to me is crazy, because God dropped this on me the other day. This piece that I'm creating, and I'm intentionally creating this piece to be this provoking.
Is it one we talked about?
Yes.
Yeah.
And to me, it's the things that I dislike in the world that goes on within our community, the attacks on our community. When I say community, I'm talking about the so-called Black experience. And I take and I connect it to a word. The word that I'm about to say, and I'm about to say this, and I don't ever say this word, but I'm going to say it. Nigga. I don't know, that made me feel some way after I said it. I hate that word. I loathe that word. But yeah, what I hate about that word is the fact that when you start looking back on the word, first of all, the word didn't always look like that word.
Mm-hmm.
That word, in a sense, you can even call it the offspring of another word. And from the other word, you can say that that other word came from other words as well. So we, as a people, we're good at saying, have you ever noticed this before? We accept what we choose to accept, but then we won't accept certain things. We disapprove certain things and we accept what we want to accept.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you looking like, oh, what do you mean,
like,
my brother?
I got
you. Trust me, I see all of this here. I got you. So what I'm talking about is this here. We would choose at points to accept nigga.
Mm-hmm.
But over here, we disapprove nigger.
Right.
The only thing changed was a couple letters at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And we say those are two different words. Yet.
Right.
Nigga. You can say that word. But who can say that word?
Right.
And nigger.
Nobody can say that word.
Or can they? The questions that we can ask.
You know what's funny, bro? Now that you bring it up, I'm gonna play this, man. And it's right in line with you know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna play this, man. It's right in line with what we talking about right now.
Valley Traditional High School is in the middle of a racial controversy right now. A teacher used the N-word towards a student. The word is only 6 letters long, but
only 6.
Sit down, nigga.
Keyshawn Chambers is a freshman at Valley High School, a Boy Scout, a football player, a member of the ROTC, an honor roll student. He was.
I don't mean to laugh at this.
What's up?
But I'm interesting. I don't mean to laugh at this, right? So they interviewed this young man,
mm-hmm.
and you could tell somebody said, what did he say to you? Nigga. Now, if I'm call a spade.
What's up?
First of all, I don't know this young man.
Right.
You don't know this young man. So by that being said, we don't know whether what I'm about to say is true or false.
Right.
But I'm going to ask this question.
What's up?
To negate that question that I was going to ask. Do you think that the young man has heard that word before?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
And let me ask you a question. Do you think that that young man has
probability
friends?
being high. Yeah, of course. The probability
that
being super high that everybody, every young black man in America has heard that.
The next question I'm going to ask is this here.
I heard that word, I mean.
Do you think that young man has ever said that word?
Of course, man. It's well, I would say, in my opinion, every young black person that listens to rap music has probably said that word multiple times.
Okay.
In a sentence.
Okay.
To somebody.
Okay. And the sad part about that before you press play, a lot of times, this is the craziest part to me.
What's up?
We so programmed with that word. Sometimes we call ourselves that.
Yeah, all the time.
Hey, boy, I'm about to have to go crazy.
Yeah.
We don't read.
Remember Rich Homie Quan had that song, my come on, bro. And that was the biggest song.
But my thing is this here, man.
That was the biggest. Like what the
you're
word?
Right, yeah. You know, I died.
I died for my but I think that's a remake of C Murder. I'm down for my and that song was huge.
Again, it's a simple case of Simon Says.
But that's not even the best part. That ain't even the best part, bro.
Hanging around his teacher's classroom door in December, the teacher told him to sit down, and the teacher says that Keyshawn used the N-word first.
And I just kind of was stunned a second. Well, then get away from the door, nigga. And I repeated the same insult because that's sort of what I've been trained to do.
The school district says that is not what they trained English teacher Paul Dawson to do.
He tried to say I said it, and I didn't say it, and no one else in the class knows that I said it because I didn't.
documents from the school of the N-word first. Dawson says that students use the slang version of the N-word at Valley High School all the time. He says Nigger is a racial slur, but says that students use Nigga as often as they'd say dude or hey man. And Dawson says as much as he does not like the word, he still used the slang version to feel more comfortable with black students.
Why is this word used so frequently? So I just don't understand it, and I'm trying to understand it. I need help. Yes, I use nigga. I've used it. I admit it. I put the H on it to emphasize it's nigga. That, you know, nigga this, nigga please, nigga. You know, can you lend a nigga a pencil?
Bro, tell me that. Is he wrong though? Is he wrong, man? I don't think he wrong, bro. I don't really think he wrong, man. Just for the simple fact, it's like, bro, we did it to ourselves. Bro, we do that to ourselves. We call other people that. So how we, you know what I'm saying? Bro, come on, man.
But
let's be logical about it.
But in the sad part about it, I've heard us call some of them.
Huh?
I've heard us call some of them that.
That's what I'm saying. We call other people that, bro.
Hey, everybody can get that word.
Bruh.
But then if everybody calls us that word,
then we blast it in songs. We put it on national TV, global TV. We say the word on global TV.
That's why I said,
and then we
bro,
get mad for people not saying it.
That's why I said before, certain things we disapprove,
right,
and other things,
bruh, that was hilarious
accept.
though. That was hilarious. I don't know what you call that in art. Maybe satire or whatever, but it was like if you wanted to add a rebuttal to something, that was the perfect way to do it. You know what I'm saying? That was the perfect way to do it. Cause it's like, bro, he right.
But hold on, did you see the sister that was interviewing him,
bro?
Well, if you go back and just look at her face, just go look at her face.
She was neutral, man. She was trying to be neutral,
but her eyes wasn't neutral. You got to go back and look at.
I mean, cause that's a place you don't want. Like, how do you feel?
First of all, you stuck
like
in
a
the middle.
Ripple effect. It's a ripple effect, cause it's like this leads to this, to this, to lead to this. Now you got, you know what I'm saying? So many things. It's like, now I got to interview this. Now it's got to be on the news. Now I got to be the person interviewing the person for it. Like, bruh.
And then, you know what? I don't mean to make comedy out of this, man, but
it's funny.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, old girl an interview over, she'd be like, bro, that was well put, my nigga.
Hey, that'd be hilarious.
I don't see no wrong.
Bruh. Oh, that nigga was tripping. Bruh, that's funny though, bro, man. I think that's funny because it's true about the culture. Because we hype things up that I think we don't. I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like certain things get hyped up that don't even make sense. Like certain songs, right? Like I know the lyrics of one song was.
Hold on, you ain't about to say what I think.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
But
my pink and my brown, my booty hole brown.
Is that wow?
That song too, though.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it's another song that's like, it's just like certain things.
The one you talking about, I ain't too sure. I know what you talking about.
That song is crazy. But it's like, it's certain songs I think that we hype up and we just like, you know what I'm saying? Make it a part of the culture. But we get mad when other people criticize it.
Yeah.
And it's like, how could you not criticize it? How could you not criticize that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know, man. Because then you get into the thing of people, well, you limited in my art and you doing this and you doing that. And it's like, bro, but then, at the same time, how do you make this more personal than it is geographical? Does that make sense? Like, how do you not encompass the group?
I think
without just keeping it on a personal tip?
I think for the first time, bro, this is dope. I think for the first time on this podcast, we're going to actually end this show. We're having a to be continued. And the next topic for the next show is going to be cultural appropriation.
Hey, man, let's do it, man.
I think that's dope. I don't think we've never done this before. But and I feel it. the atmosphere, like I was telling you, is changing.
Yeah, let's
and
see if
now
we
it's
can-
going over into cultural appropriation.
Let's see if we can hop into it, man. Next episode.
Like, and
I'm gonna put the link to that video too, though, because I think that was funny, man. If y'all want to catch it out, y'all leave y'all comments, man. Let y'all let us know what y'all think about it. What y'all think is appropriate, what's not appropriate. If the word should be used, if it shouldn't be used, who should use it, who shouldn't use it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Me personally, my biggest thing, and I'm gonna just remain how I am with it.
What's
like
up?
this episode, I probably like use that word more than I've used it this entire year.
Right? Yeah, for real,
like you say,
right?
years. Because
Right.
and
Cause
again,
I
it's just
don't
like,
even say it, man.
It's distasteful to me to use.
Now, you know what's funny? I say it in my head, like if I'm explaining something or if I'm thinking something that's crazy, like man.
But isn't that almost like even worse?
You know what I'm saying?
Because
I don't say it out
there.
loud.
It's consciously there, though.
Right. It's almost programmed.
That's almost
It's like
dangerous.
programming.
That means if stimulated the wrong way,
Right.
understand what I'm saying? If stimulated the wrong way, that word is flying out.
Now I'm gonna put another. Before we end, I'm gonna play this part. Well, it's a long. What's the dude name? Larry King.
Mm-hmm.
King. So I think this was cool, man. Larry King had a interview on the N-word panel. And it was Nipsey Hussle, Ryan Ford, Chester Pitts, and Jimmy Lee Solomon, where they had a panel of these different black men from different backgrounds talk about the use of the N-word. And I thought that was dope, man. And y'all should check it out. I'm gonna put that link in the video. I'm gonna put that link in the episode also, along with the that news clip. So I think that'll be dope, man. And me and E, maybe we could watch that next time before we hop on the podcast.
I like that.
And we could talk about it. But yeah, man, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, this was a dope episode.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You ready to wrap it up?
Let's go, man.
Yeah, man. This is a Real Talk podcast. If you liked anything we said, thought anything was thought provoking, please give us a like. Please give us a share. This is the Real Talk podcast. Please continue to rock with us, man. Like, share with a friend, share with a family member. Real Talk podcast every Thursday, a new episode. Peace.
Real talk, ebbs and flows.
That's it.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode or if you want to check out more of our content, please visit our social media platforms linked in the description of this episode. You can also check us out each week where we drop a new episode every single Thursday. So don't forget, like, share, comment, and thanks again for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.